All right, it's the morning show with Nic Harcourt and Jet, and we have a guest in studio who, normally she flies to LA, but this time she drove across country in an electric vehicle. It's the host of Shiro's, my old pal. Well, not old, but my
You can say old.
My young pal from a long time ago, Carmel Holt. It's great to see you.
It's so good to see you, Nick. I can't believe that I'm here, and I can't believe that I'm getting interviewed by you.
It's about time.
So you gave me my first job in radio.
I think I did.
You did.
Yeah.
You're responsible for all of this.
Well,
essentially. Yeah.
I sort of, I helped you through the door.
You did.
And then
you did.
The rest has been done by you. And let's not discount Jimmy Buff being a big part of
that's true.
Getting you going.
That's true. That's true. We go way back.
Back in the days at WDST, Radio Woodstock. And
when you did nights.
I did nights. Yeah. Oh, my God. My favorite time on the radio. I got to be honest with you.
Because nobody messed with you.
Nobody messed with you. You're just on your own in the middle of the night. And I don't want to spend too much time reminiscing.
Okay, but it's fun. It is fun. Yeah.
I will. And being on the night shift in Woodstock was so much fun because I think I started at midnight till 6 was the shift. And around about 3:00 in the morning, we would play a whole album. It's like, okay, we're going to play an album. It would be on a CD.
Right.
So you'd put an album on, 50 minutes, run down to Cumberland Farms, which is the gas station, kind of 7-Eleven in town.
Yeah.
See who was up and about, what kind of condition they were in over there in the middle of the night. Grab a Mountain Dew, some horrible sugar snack, head back to the radio station and hope the CD wasn't skipping while you're out. And once or twice
it was.
It did. But, the best people call you at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, my God, especially Woodstock.
Yeah.
Also, I remember when you were hosting the morning show there, you would, speaking of CDs, you had a whole thing where you would break a CD. Do you remember this?
I do. It was usually because somebody else had programmed. I wasn't the PD, I don't think, at the time.
I think you were music director.
And somebody else had programmed a song that I didn't like. And I'm not playing this, and we'd break it.
And you'd break it on the air.
On the air.
Yeah.
So much fun. It was just
so much fun.
Little bits of silver plastic going all over the studio and hoping not to take an eye out.
And then the impossible happened. You got a job in Los Angeles. Wait, am I interviewing you or you interviewing me?
Yeah, let's come back.
Okay.
Let's come back. It's me interviewing you. So we've known each other a while.
Yeah.
And of course, you've gone on to work in New York at FUV, and now
we both got out.
Yeah, got out of Woodstock. And then obviously you have Shiro's, and you're an independent producer now. And you've just spent how many weeks driving across country?
It was 4 weeks in all. Yeah.
And there was a reason behind that. There was a reason why you got in an EV and drove across the country.
Yes,
it's to celebrate the life and the legacy of Joni Mitchell.
Correct.
And you've been stopping off along the way before you got to LA. So tell us a little bit about the purpose of this trip.
Of the show. Well, so the concept is called the Road to Joni. So it's figurative and literal. I've been interviewing artists, and I did all this, by the way, before I left. There's been lots of confusion, which is well-founded confusion, that I've been interviewing people as I drive across the country. I'm not that crazy. I did do all of the interviews before I left, but then I had to edit them and create this podcast and limited series, 10 episodes about the legacy and renaissance of Joni through the eyes and told through all of these artists. The main questions being, what was your road to Joni and where did that road lead you? And along the way, I've been stopping off because the show is a public radio show. Yeah. I've been stopping off at all of my affiliates to say hello as I am here. Thanks to KCSN for supporting Shiro's. And that's basically been it. And, along the way, I've been also editing the show, which has been interesting and challenging. But it also felt very, how shall I say, like on brand for a Joni project who is very much a traveler, again, figuratively and literally.
Yeah, you've been a bit of a gypsy yourself on the road. So tell us a little bit about this EV, because
oh boy,
I would imagine traveling across the country in an electric vehicle is a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks to the folks at Rivian, they very generously gave me an R1S, which is their like big SUV. There's a vinyl wrap on it that says "The Road to Joni: A Shiro's Journey."
Dig it.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been interesting. It's the Gen 2. So this is a pretty young company. They're an American company. There's been some bugs, and it's a whole different thing than just being like, oh, tank is getting empty. I got to pull into a gas station. A 4-hour drive becomes a 5-hour drive or a 6-hour journey.
Because you have to stop and charge.
Because you have to stop and charge.
Right.
And then there's some places in the country that haven't quite caught up with the whole EV thing.
Yeah.
It's not like being in LA where everybody is like very hip to the EV thing.
So you have to really plan.
You have to really plan.
You can't be just like 400 miles,
Yeah.
time for a refill, get a cup of coffee and keep going.
No. And there's all these other there's a real big learning curve too. There's all these other factors to consider, like when you're in the desert and it's really hot and you're running the AC all the time.
You're running the charge down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or you're getting, in altitude, you're climbing these huge hills and mountains. You're losing charge.
So quite the trip, obviously. What have you learned about Joni along the way that you didn't know before?
What a great question. I think, well, there's been a couple of things that have been sort of repeated themes through the conversations that I've been having. Like, one is just her courage. I think courage is a word that's been said many, many times. And I don't know that I would have necessarily used that to describe her, who she is. But yeah, she's a very brave person and has a lot of like just this kind of inner core strength, which she talks a lot about, having roots in polio when she was 9 years old and how that transformed her and how she had to will herself to walk. But now she's had to do that. She has had to learn how to walk 3 times. So I think how courageous and brave she is.
How far into this are you now? You're 7 episodes in?
As of today, I am 7 episodes in.
So we're running this obviously on a Friday at the end of our show. There's 3 episodes left.
Yes, 8, 9, and 10.
Right. Okay. So what are those 3 episodes for anybody who hasn't heard the first 7? What's happening in those 3 episodes? Obviously wrapping in LA, but what about the 2 before that?
Well, so here's the plan as of today, but this has been the nice thing about not having had all of these produced before I left is that it has given me a little bit of creative latitude in terms of following the thread. There's a whole like interlocking, overlapping timelines and stories thing that I'm building in real time as I go. So, for example, episode 7 was Bela Fleck and Bruce Hornsby. Now, I didn't realize that the way that they both got to Joni Mitchell was Sean Colvin, because they both were on Fat City, recorded at Joni's house.
Wow.
Yeah. So what did I do? Because I'm crazy and I'm a perfectionist, I set up an interview with Sean Colvin yesterday.
Nice.
So instead of the next episode being Amelia Meath and Anais Mitchell, now episode 8 is going to be Sean Colvin and Naomi McPherson of Muna, because Naomi McPherson of Muna is a gigantic Sean Colvin fan and Joni fan.
So that's episode 8, which
That's
is actually
episode 8.
going to be on this Sunday night. Shiro's is on at 11 on Sundays. And then 9 and 10? Still editing?
You know what? I don't know about 9 because I'm trying to get some folks after the Joni Jams this weekend.
Right.
So if I get to speak with a few folks after the Joni Jams, then I'll shift gears. But as of right now, it's Anais Mitchell and Amelia Meath for episode 9 and Hosier. And episode 10 will be Anthony Mason of CBS, who did the first interview with Joni after her return.
We should point out that we're actually recording this about a week before we're running it. When you say this weekend, that was actually last weekend. As people,
sorry about that.
That's all good.
Yeah.
It's, we could edit it, but why? Why bother?
No.
That's just extra
Let's
work.
be real. Let's be real. That's all we know how to do.
It's great to see you. What a trip. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And I believe you have to drive it back as well. So good luck on that.
Thank you, Nic.
My pal Carmel Holt, she hosts Shiro's, and you can catch it on the airwaves here at 11 o'clock on Sundays.
Nick,
Yeah.
can I at least ask you to spin your favorite Joni song at the end of this?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll spin my favorite Joni song, which is A Case of You. And we're actually going to spin the orchestral version of this that was done a few years later. I can't remember the name of the album, but
Both Sides Now.
Is that the one where she redid a bunch of
Yes.
tracks? Well, you should know. You've just been living with Joni Mitchell for
That's
the
right.
last month. Let's go out with that. Joni Mitchell on the SoCal Sound and Carmel Shiro's Sunday night at 11 p.m. Good to see you.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me.